Good evening, everyone. I am Diane Mathis, your host for this evening. To Where Are They Now? I am so excited. I have an amazing guest for you this evening, Mr. Charles Wright. He is an amazing entertainer, and when you hear his story, you're going to know exactly who he is. I'd like to welcome him to our format this evening. Everybody, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Charles Wright, songwriter, recording artist. He gained popularity in the 1960s. And he is very well known for the Charles Wright and the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm and Blues Band. And everybody knows his song, Express Yourself. That was my jam. So I'm glad to have him here this evening. Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright. Hello, how are you? I'm not hearing Mr. Wright. I'm sorry.
It's not asking for him to unmute it, so bear with me.
Okay.
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I am doing well, sir. I'm very excited to meet with you. And I have to tell you, your song was one of my jams that I used to roller skate on in the 60s. That was the jam for everybody wanted to hear your song because it was that kind of song that just took you there to having fun and believe in everything that you say. Express yourself. Everybody be who you are and just live authentically. So that was the coolest song. And you know, back in the 70s, that's what everybody was doing their thing, having fun, and just doing what excited them. And that's what your music made people feel: excited, happy, want to dance. So I'd like to ask you a few questions because I'm very curious. How were you when you got started?
I got started late.
Mhm.
Actually, I got started, I didn't even think of being in the music industry, period.
What were you doing instead of music?
I come from a place they call Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Okay.
That's the place where the blues was born.
Okay.
But my sharecropping boss, my father's sharecropping partner, boss, whatever you call him, convinced my father that blues was the devil's music. So he would not allow me to listen to it. So I couldn't hear no secular music while I was a child. I only started hearing it when I came to Los Angeles and got to junior high school, and I'm walking home, and the kids are all singing these songs that they heard on the radio. And I asked them where they was hearing them, and they told me, and I got hooked on the stuff. But
I understand.
Huh?
I said, I understand.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of being in this industry at all until the first day I went to high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a high school that had all these vocal groups on the campus. And I sat down for lunch and I heard something, I didn't know where it was, coming from behind one of the bungalows. It sounded so good that I wrapped my lunch up and I went in search of it, and every once in a while it stopped. And I'd have to stop and wait until it started again.
Oh my goodness.
I followed it around the back of a bungalow. They had 4 guys standing there singing 4-part harmony.
Oh my
I
goodness.
never heard anything like that before.
I
really,
can imagine. And it did something to you, didn't it?
It certainly did. I got hooked on it. Just those guys that come there and rehearse at lunchtime every day, I beat them there.
Were they actually recording, or was this just the doo-wopping thing going on?
They were just standing behind the bungalow practicing. That's what they did every day at noon. They had students standing around and listening to them. And I became one of those students. And
Oh, wow.
And after a while, I got so involved, I feel like I wanted to be a part of it. So now
Absolutely.
here I am, I'm already 16, 17 years old and never even dreamed of being in the music industry.
Wow.
So I heard a guy named Jesse Belvin. You know who that is?
Oh, of course I do. Good night. Oh, he played that. They played that on the radio every night when the radio was getting ready to go off. That was the
Oh,
jam.
well,
Absolutely.
then he had a
Yes.
wonderful voice, beautiful voice.
Yes, he had an amazing voice. I look forward to the end of the radio broadcast so I could just hear that song. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, I heard him sing a song called One Little Blessing on the radio. And I was so fell in love with his voice. So I looked him up in the phone book. He was the only bellman in Los Angeles at the time. And I called him till I finally got him one day. I said, Mr. Bellman, I want to sing and I want to sound just like you. He gave me a great piece of advice.
Wow.
He gave me some advice.
What did he say?
He said, get your own sound and leave mine the F alone. I said, well, I thought it'd be a compliment. How would you like it if I was trying to sound like you? Ever hear of Johnny Ace? I said, yeah. How would you like I was trying to sound like him? I said, oh no, you got a style. I love your style. He said, you don't get it by now, boy. I'm hanging up. So no, please don't hang up. I just want to be a part of what y'all doing. Would you please support us?
Oh,
He allowed me to come to a rehearsal with a group called the Turks that weekend at his house. And I had so much fun. You couldn't tear me away from this thing. I left there, I had to do something in this business. So I started me a vocal group with my cousins and everything. And so after a while, Jesse Belvin told me about a man in the neighborhood who had a recording studio and a label. So I went and asked the man to grant my group an audition. He said, yeah, but don't bring them in until you're sure they're ready. So when I thought we was ready, I took a group in there. And he said, no, you're not ready yet. I said, but I'm going to record you so you'll see how you sound. That way you'll know what you got to do. And so my cousin, who had a beautiful voice, got up and sang 2 songs. Then I stepped up to sing mine on this rickety recorder, record player. Oh no, don't you ever try to sing lead. Stay in the background for the rest of your life. Don't you ever. I said, oh, boy, I feel so bad. I was so embarrassed. I dropped my head.
but it didn't stop you, did it?
No, there was a tunnel not far from my house where kids used to go in a tunnel and get across the street, go to school. I go in there at night and I practice for about, I don't know how many months, 6 months maybe. And I wrote several songs. And I went back to his studio by myself one evening. I sat down at his piano, hoping he'd allow me to finish the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the whole song, then I turned around and he said, you're not the same guy. I don't believe this. You can't be the same guy that I told not to sing lead again. I said, if I ain't got it right yet, Mr. Williams, just let me know. I'm gonna keep on trying till I get it right. He said, you just proved you got everything it takes. You're gonna be my #1 superstar.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. And how old were you then?
I'm about 17. Yeah, so then he took me in the studio and I recorded my first hit record.
And what was that?
It's called Eternally.
Okay.
It was recorded as Eternally by little Charlie Wright, spelled Cholly.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is that he couldn't do nothing with it, really. He sat in his corner in his office for 3 or 4 months. Then a disc jockey came by one day looking for something to play on the radio. And he listened to all of his material and he chose my song. And yeah,
Wonderful.
and he started playing it that night. It became a huge local hits. So that's how I got started.
Well, that is amazing. That is, but see, you were really, really embedded with this music thing. Even though you were down in Mississippi, you were listening to the blues, and the blues and any other form of music is really still just good music. It doesn't matter what genre you give a name to it, but it's just good music. And once it gets, it's already in you. You just needed to have that to push you to do what you wanted to do. And you were determined to do that. That is an amazing story. That really is. Now, the guys that you were recording with, the guys that you started off with, did you all get a chance to go and record anything after you got yourself established?
Yeah, but nothing happened with that. Actually, the producer, Mr. Williams, he didn't use my group to back me up. He used another group that was in the studio that same day recording. He was producing. He
Okay.
used him to back me up. But
Okay.
my name, it was supposed to be just me, but like I say, the disc jockey, in those days, they had the Turks, they had all the group names.
Mhm.
They didn't have many single people singing. So they wanted to name it a group. They gave it a
But
name.
that's okay. It got you out there. That's the main thing. It got you out there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
How did you end up with your own band? With the first you had the Right Sounds, and then after you had the Right Sounds, then you went to the 103rd Street Rhythm and Blues Band.
Watch 103rd Street Rhythm Band. Now,
Yeah. So,
actually, I had the Twilighters. That's the group they named my song with.
oh, okay.
That's the first group I had. Then I was in another group called the Shields. We had a huge record called You Cheated. And then I was with another group where we had a hit record called the Galahads. And after that, the person that owned the record company that the Galahads was from asked me to stay on as the A&R director.
Oh, wow.
I hadn't thought of myself as nothing but a doo-wop singer, but I took the job and I produced a record called Those Oldie But Goodies Remind Me of You. And it was a huge hit for that company. And he didn't pay me, so I left there. And I started producing on my own. And I ended up, while I was there, I was looking for talent. So one night I went out and saw a band called the La La Wilson Band. They were dressed in uniform. They had uniform steps. They were playing and singing and dancing all at the same time. Oh my God, I want to do something like this. And that's what inspired me to start my own band.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. Your
Yeah.
story is so exciting because you really didn't have any. Well, first of all, you couldn't do anything musically when you were at home in Mississippi. But it kind of made you want to do something else. You wanted to hear some good music. And when you heard it, you really didn't know what you were listening to, but you really did know that you were on to something. And it's been inside of you all the time. You just finally found your niche. That
Thanks,
is so awesome.
thanks for telling me.
Wow, that is so awesome. I'm so excited to hear how people get started in the music business because I honestly I believe that people learn to do what they do. I really do believe that because how could you do so exceptionally well if it wasn't already embedded in you? You just hadn't found what you needed
Yeah,
to give you that push to do what you're doing.
Yeah, in my next book, I have a chapter in there concerning that, you know. But yeah, everybody knows they speak about express yourself.
Mhm.
And I was working in Detroit when Express Yourself came out. I was working in a club, I can't remember the name of the club, but the disc jockey owned the club there. And I was working there. And I had the first 2 copies sent to me at that club. And the disc jockey went in his office. I gave him one of the copies. And he came out and said, Charles, I think you made a mistake this time.
Why did he say that?
Because I guess that's what he felt.
Okay.
He's not the only one. Members of my band didn't like Express Yourself. Didn't want to play on it. The president of the record company told me it was a piece of junk.
Oh my God.
Nobody liked to Express Yourself. Yeah, but anyway, we had You Ever Hear Till You Get Enough?
Mhm.
You sure?
I may have. I've been around listening to the radio for a long time, so I probably have. But I know Express Yourself was my jam.
You hear Do Your Thing? Love Land, Your Love Land.
Oh yes, I remember that. Mhm.
All of those were big records in Detroit.
And they probably were. They absolutely were. What DJ were you working with? Was it? So I probably know all the DJs. Did you know Frank
No,
Ernie Durham?
Ernie Durham,
Yes. Uh-huh.
he owned a nightclub.
Yes, he did. The Ernie Durham's Celebrity Showroom.
Yeah.
Yes, it was on Finkel, not far from like I want to say maybe 6 Mile. Yeah, he had a big he was a DJ that played all the local records. If he liked your music, he was gonna play it.
Yeah. Well, I ran into him about 10 years later at a record convention. We were in a suite where they was having a party. And when he said, I told you it was gonna be a smash, didn't it?
Oh my goodness. Well, Mr. Wright, we have your video for Express Yourself. I would like for everybody to see. Yeah, we have your video and song. So we want to hear your song. So express yourself. That's what we're gonna listen to right now. The jam.
All right.
Y'all help me out. Express yourself. Express yourself. Come on, y'all. Express yourself. 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 Whatever
Mm. He want to start dancing and roller skating all over. That was the jam. I really love that song. And you look like you were having such a great time when you were performing. Wow, that's awesome. And your song was number 12 on the 100 charts and then number 3 on the R&B station. That
Yes.
is epic. That is absolutely incredible. Wow, 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 wow. Well, after you left the group, what were you doing after you left what the were performing with there? Were you producing other people?
No, I went to ABC and I left Warner Brothers. I was at Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Then went to ABC Records and I recorded, which I think is some of my greatest music.
Okay.
But we had, unfortunately, had a brother there who was not interested in promoting my music. But I have an album there. Anybody want to hear it? It's called Doing What Come Naturally. I think it's one of the greatest things I've ever done that has not been promoted. So I've done lots of things since then. I've recorded lots of music. I have a record out now going up the blues charts.
Awesome. I heard that. But I wanted to ask you a question. Is it true that Dove commercial, you did a Dove commercial? They took your music and put it into a Dove commercial?
Express Yourself been in over 100 commercials around the world.
Oh, 100. That is fantastic. And I hear that NWA also sampled your music.
Of course, and a lot of other people. And Express Yourself has been in 30 some odd movies.
Is that right? Wow. That is an accomplishment. Absolutely.
It's the best thing ever happened to me.
That is fantastic. Absolutely incredible. To have your music just continue to live on and on and on and on. That's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. That's an amazing situation because sometimes people get one hit and nothing ever goes away. But for your music to be in movies and to be in commercials, wow, that's a blessing. That really, really is. Well, when you write your music, what is your inspiration? What gives you the inspiration to write your songs?
God.
Amen.
It comes to me. And if it comes to me and I capture it and write it down or put it on tape or something, and it could have went on and I could have let it go on by, but I think God give us all something like that.
Yes, I agree.
We don't all know how to manufacture it and put it into the context of a song or a motion picture or whatever. Haven't you imagined something that you wish you could have captured?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I do believe what you're saying is true because there are times when I hear things and I have to get out of the shower and write it down on I have a little voice recorder and I have to do that too. So I understand because when it comes to you, you don't want to lose it. So you just go for it, whatever comes of it.
It don't take long to lose it.
Right. Because if, like, for example, if you're in the shower and it comes to you, you know you got to get out of the shower and go do it. You might get back in the shower, but when you hear it and it's like really in your head and the lyrics are flowing, you got to get out and put it down. Absolutely.
You can hear it in a dream.
That's true. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you don't get up and write it down now, you might not.
Right. And I've done that. I'll say, dang, I wish I had gotten up and put it down because I don't remember what the lyrics were. And that's very unnerving, especially when you know something comes so fluidly. You want to make sure you capture everything about it. Absolutely. Are you performing now? Are you doing anything with your new music? Are you on the road or you have a specific place that you're playing?
No, not really. Every once in a while I do something. I have a new video called Doing It On The Flo. You hear that?
I have heard that. We actually do have your video, and I haven't heard the song yet, but I would love to hear that. That
Well,
is awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about this song, Doing It On The Flo? What is the concept of the song before we hear it?
it's a dance song.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Doing It On The Flo. Okay. All right. Well, can we hear that right now? I'd love to hear that song.
Doing it on the floor. Doing it on the floor. Doing it on the floor. Just can't do it no more. Don't stop. Doing it on the floor. Doing it on the floor. Doing it on the floor. Just can't do it no more. Don't stop. Do it again and again. Everybody's doing it. Keep doing it on the floor. All of this pleasure can't be a sin. Everybody's doing it. Keep doing it on the floor. Do it all night long, y'all. Everybody's doing it. Keep doing it on the floor. Get that line, y'all. Make it strong, y'all. Everybody's doing it. Keep doing it on the floor. Doing it on the floor. Oh, yeah. The party night, y'all. Everybody party. Woo! Ha! Feel it. Yeah! Oh, 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 yeah. Feel it. Talking about doing it, y'all. Doing it. Doing it. Doing it. Doing it. Doing it on the floor. Doing it. Just can't do it no more. Doing it. 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 Wow, doing it. Woo! It's crazy. Wanna talk about doing it, 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 Nothing to it. Nothing to it but to do it. Nothing to it but to do it.
Your music sure makes me want to move. I love it. I love it. Where did you shoot your video?
In Hollywood.
In Hollywood. Okay. Are you living out in Hollywood?
No. I'm in they call it Adira Heights.
Okay. Awesome. Wow, Mr. Wright, you are a funk master. All your music makes me want to step, want to make me dance. I love it. Absolutely. I love it. Absolutely. So now with you having a new song out and a new video, surely you'll be going out and performing around the country.
I might. I don't have to.
You don't have to. Of course you don't have to. But don't you just sometimes get the bug where you just want to be on stage?
Yeah, I love doing what I do. But
Okay.
it's a responsibility with me because I have a huge band, not huge, but that 9-piece orchestra. So when I do stuff, it has to be all proper and right.
I understand. Absolutely. I understand.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so awesome. I am excited to hear new music coming from you because wherever you are, wherever you're doing what you're doing, if you're enjoying life, that's the most important part. And you're enjoying music because this is something was bred inside of you. So anytime you get opportunity to perform or write music, it's a wonderful experience. Are you writing for other artists too?
No, I have lots of songs and other artists do them. They're out there and other artists pick them up sometime and do them. I can't write for ladies.
Why not?
I don't know.
Surely you can write for a lady. Sure you can.
I've tried before, but I can't write for ladies. I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. But I mean, you just write what you feel. That's the most important part. Write
Well,
what makes you happy and makes other people happy. Because your music sure makes me smile. I've enjoyed listening to both of your songs. Don't you have another song out too?
Your Hand.
Oh, now I did hear that the other day. That is so cool. Absolutely. I like that. I really do. Maybe we can play that too, because I heard it a couple of days ago and I was like, oh, okay. This is
Yeah, all right.
so can we hear that? Your Hand?
Are you asking your text that?
Yes, I am. I'm asking the text.
You're looking at me.
And here we go. Here we go.
Take your hand out that drawer, baby. Can you hear me knocking at your door? Take your hand out that drawer, baby. I know you hear me knocking at your door. Whatever you got off in there, baby, you won't be needing that no more. Alright. I got some hugs and some kisses, baby, which you cannot buy in a box. Ooh. I got some hugs and some kisses, baby, which you cannot buy in a box. I know you hear me out here knocking. Why don't you come undo this lock? Lord have mercy. Yeah! Let me play this guitar. Well. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Shucks. What you gonna do, pretty baby, when your battery running low? What you gonna do, pretty baby, when your battery running low? You gonna need a man on your hands to take you where you wanna go. Oh yeah. So get your hand out that drawer. I know you hear me knocking at your door. Take your hand out that drawer, pretty mama. I'm knocking at your door. Yeah. Whatever you got off in there, baby, you won't be needing that no more. Lord have mercy. Yeah. Take your hand
Don't you hear me knocking at your door? Ooh, take your hands out that drawer, girl. I know you hear.
Mr. Charles, let me tell you, you went all the way back to the Delta Blues on that one. And the story, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When I heard the lyrics, I was like, oh my God, that's a little bit racy, isn't it? It's all right with me though. I like it. I really like it. Wow. Now, what made you write this song? What was your inspiration for this?
I can't tell you.
Oh, all right, I understand. It's all good. It's all good.
Right.
Lord have mercy. Now that is an epic song right there. Ooh, Lord.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I'm listening to the lyrics. And when you said about the battery, I almost fell out. I almost fell out my chair when I heard that line. I'm like, oh no, he did not say that. That is all right with me. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so interesting because music touches you in everywhere. Music is universal. It brings people together. It makes people happy. It makes you think about a love that you had, a love that you lost, or a love that you wish you had. And that is one thing about music. It is such a loving experience to listen to music. I don't care what genre you're listening to. It is awesome. Woo, wow. My cheeks are burning. That is so cool. For real. My cheeks are burning. I'm not kidding. Well, I wanted to say something too. You received a Lifetime Achievement Award and you were inducted in the Mississippi Museum Hall of Fame. Wow, that is amazing. That's from your hometown, Mississippi, Clarksdale, Mississippi. My mother was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. That's awesome. I've never met anybody that came from Clarksdale.
Your mother come from Clarksdale?
Yes, my mother was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi in 1907. Yes.
A lot of great people came from Clarksdale. Lots of great people.
Do you go back very often to your hometown?
No, I've been back 3 times.
Okay. In your whole life, just 3 times?
3 times.
Okay. Do you still have family there?
I go back just to remind myself of my childhood
Mm-hmm.
and to see what has transpired there since I left. And it's not good. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
there are millions of people like the people in Clarksdale.
Mm-hmm.
They were brought there to pick cotton,
Mm-hmm.
chop cotton. But they have chemicals they plant with the cotton now with nothing but cotton to grow. They don't need nobody to chop the weeds from between it. And they got a machine to pick as much as 10,000 people a day. They're not needed anymore.
Wow. That's interesting. Wow.
Lots of them have nothing else absolutely to do.
Oh my goodness. That's kind of sad, but it's the reality of what's going on in our world right now. But your music certainly will make people smile regardless of what they're going through. Your music is an uplifter. So anything that's going on in the Delta or anywhere else, music is going to make them feel good. And that's the most important thing, your contribution to us.
You're so kind. You're so kind.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'm just saying the truth because I know music is my life. I tell you, when I was traveling, I got a chance to see how people respond to music. And it's amazing. Music is a connector. It's pulls people together, and the one thing about music, I don't care where you go, even if it's in another country, they might not understand the language and the lyrics that you're singing, but they understand the melody and it is in their heart. Yes, it makes them feel good.
Yes.
Absolutely. absolutely. Well, do
Yeah.
you have children, Mr. Wright? Are they in the music business?
No, I have a son that plays the drums and a
Okay.
grandson that plays the bass, but they're actually not in the business.
Okay.
I want to introduce them into the business before I'm gone. I hope to do an album with them.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. I have a daughter, she's kind of in my business with me.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So you are grooming your children to be, if they want to be in the music business, if they have the interest, you could show them the ropes and explain everything about the music business because you certainly know what to tell them, what's going on with the music business. And then your daughter's in your business of your music. That's phenomenal. Yeah,
Thank
keep it in the family. That's generational. That's what most entertainers, a lot of entertainers don't do. They don't get their kids involved. They always say, well, I want my kids to do something else. But music is never gonna go anywhere. Everybody's continue to love music. I don't care where you live.
you. I see you love music.
I do. I really, really do. Because music is, I tell you, music is a healer. As I said before, when you listen to a song, maybe something from your youth, it kind of take back to where you were at the time when that record was out, who you were dating, who was your first love, all that kind of thing. So when I hear a certain song, it takes me back to my teenage crush and all those things, and or my heartbreak. So yeah, I love music. I sing all the time. I listen to the radio, but I like older songs. I like
There's
music
nothing
from
new
my
to listen
generation.
to.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
As far as I'm concerned, there's not too much new to listen to.
No, it isn't. That's why I listen to the old records. I still have 45s and I have LPs and I have a record player. So when I want to hear some really good music, that's what I do. I go back to what I loved when I was growing up.
Yeah, the culture is being lost because everybody's making money off of it, and we're being denied to make the money like they are, and the culture is being robbed. I
That's
feel
very true.
I feel really bad about it because there's really nothing I can do. That's one reason I made a blues song,
Mhm.
because I wanted to make sure that we revive that culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that music is just as important as any other genre of music. The blues is played, that really they love the blues overseas. They love the blues overseas.
Think about it, all the music that's made in America basically is people who started out trying to do the blues and then spread out to all kind of other styles, but it's
That's very true.
our culture.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't care what kind of music you're playing, the music kind of goes back to, like you said, the Delta music, because that was the music that absolutely that the slaves were singing. They were singing the blues, talking about all the things that they were going through, picking cotton, sugar cane, and that was their inspiration to keep going. So you
Yeah.
can't get away from that culture. We'll never get away from that culture. I don't care what they're doing in the music business now. The stuff that they're doing doesn't have the same impact or meaning from the songs that I know I grew up listening to and music that you grew up listening to.
Yeah. And the people who came from Clarksdale, like David Ruffin,
Yes, I
Sam
forgot
Cooke,
about that.
Sam Cooke, Muddy Water, Johnny Hooker. I mean, you could go on and on and on. And
Absolutely.
all of that stuff started in Clarksdale, Mississippi. I go to Clarksdale today and I see how the world does not appreciate what we brought here and given to them.
The music has changed so much, and it it's so techno now. There's a lot of people aren't really playing instruments,
That's it.
and the songs that they're not playing, it's all synthetic. on the computer,
Yeah.
drum machines, all that kind of stuff. I want to hear real musicians play.
You
I want
talk,
to see
talk
somebody,
crazy.
like you said before. Remember when you said you saw guys on stage and they were stepping and they were dressed to the nines? That's
Yeah,
the kind of entertainment that I like to see. I don't want to see anybody with the pants hanging down and they're spitting in the microphone, and you can't hardly understand a word they're saying. I want to hear some real music.
well, you
Absolutely.
talking the same talk I'm talking.
Absolutely. I want to hear some real music with a harmonica, a saxophone. My dad used to play a ukulele, so I'm used to some real old-fashioned music.
Yeah,
That's it.
James Jamerson.
Yes, the bass master. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you tell me some musicians that you may have worked with throughout your career?
I've worked with James Jamerson. I worked with
You actually worked with James Jameson. Oh my
I
God,
have
that's cool. That's epic.
I have James Jamerson, Eddie Bungo.
Oh, I've heard
Uh,
of him. Absolutely.
he was from Detroit. He played on
Hmm.
all kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I work with practically everybody that, except for these young kids today that I don't understand what they're doing. I understand, but I'm not interested in electric.
That's it. Yeah, you understand they're doing their thing, but it to me is I want to hear some real live instrumentation when I hear a song. I really
Yes,
do. My favorite is the bass. Well, if I hear a bass line that really touches me, now
yeah,
I'm into that song because I listen for the bass first before I listen to anything else. And
that's
then the
the
next
ba-
thing, that's it. That's it. The bass. And then if you got a good drummer and he is holding down that beat, I
yeah,
mean that's what carries the song. Absolutely. The
yeah.
drums and the bass for me.
The
And
bass,
then the flavor is that's it.
bass is the
Do you
basic of the song in the first place.
absolutely, you are so right. And I say that all the time because that is so very true. The
Yeah,
bass and the drums create the steadiness of the song, the flow of the song. And then the guitar adds the flavor. And then you
James
might want to add keys or organ.
James Jamerson, he was living with me.
Oh, wow.
They actually destroyed him. He couldn't get a job in LA.
Hmm.
He came out here following Motown, and
Mhm.
they were through with him, I guess. I don't know what it was, but the only people he performed with, he played on our records was like me and Marvin Gaye while he was out here. After that, he was only
Mhm.
55 years old and he didn't want to live anymore. He
Oh,
died at 55.
my goodness. Mm-mm.
You know,
Mm-mm.
a great man, great. He
He was,
revolutionized.
if anybody speaks of the baddest bass player, it's always him,
James J.
James Jefferson.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everybody says the baddest bass player is James Jamerson. And if somebody will say, well, that's a kind of a lick that James Jamerson would play because he made so many interesting moves on that bass. It was like that bass talked, that
Yeah,
bass sang. And every Motown song had that extraordinary bass line. Every single way. Because when you heard him play, you know it was James Jamerson.
absolutely.
Absolutely. That's no doubt.
He's another one of my heroes. Him and Jezebel.
Yes, Jesse Belden was my man too. Ooh, that song he had out when I was a young girl. I used to listen with, like I said, when the radio, it's time for the radio to go off because back in the day, the radio went off at a certain time, just
Night.
like the TV went off. Yes, that was the song. I love that song. I don't have that song. I had it years ago, but got broken. But that was one of my favorite songs, and I couldn't wait till the end of the night so I could hear that song because Ernie Durham used to play that song every time he ended his broadcast.
Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, this has been so amazing. I'm so excited that I had the opportunity to meet you, Mr. Wright. You are so amazing. And I'm just excited to know that you're still doing your music, you're still doing your thing, and making people smile, making people want to dance, clap their hands, and that's cool. That's cool because we need something to keep us happy in what's going on in this world. So music to me keeps you positive. Whatever you're going through, music soothes that soul. Absolutely.
Yes. I'm going to try to keep you up.
Well, thank you. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And I will be listening that song that your hand. I love that. I have to get that song because I really, really think that is so cool. I really do like the blues. I grew up liking the blues because my daddy, like I said, played you and there was music in my house growing up all the time. All the time. And then on Saturday nights, my daddy had a dance and we would go to his club and I step on his toes and dance while he had me, no, he actually had me stand on his feet and dance me around the room. And a lot of the music I heard was blues. So yes, I love it. Absolutely. I actually had a chance to meet B.B. King and I was so excited to meet him.
Yeah, he's from like 50 miles from Clarkston.
Is that right? It
Yeah.
seems like all the real soulful folks came from somewhere in Mississippi.
That part of the Delta, for some reason, I'm trying to figure it out myself all these years.
Maybe it was something in the water. I don't know.
I think we were so suppressed
Yes,
that we had to squeeze it out some way.
absolutely.
And the blues was the way we did it.
Yes. That has to be the reason why, because if you're living in a rural area and there's so much going on in the rural area where you're living and it's not always good, it's not always happy, but the music would just kind of take your mind off of what's going on.
Yes.
And everybody relates to that.
Have you read my book?
I have not. What is the name of your book?
Up From Where We've Come.
Okay, I have to write that down because I have to check that out. Is it on Amazon?
Absolutely.
Up From Where We Come. Okay, I will have to get that. So you tell your story of coming up in the South and how you got in the music business and everything. That's wonderful, Mr. Wright. Well, I am going to look that up because I enjoy listening and hearing people's stories about how they grew up, especially in the music business, because I'm from the music genre.
Well, I don't want you to be disappointed. I have a music
Disappointed for
because my book at Union Station, which is a train station in Los Angeles.
Okay.
My next book, which will be out in 3 or 4 months, is called Express Yourself. And that's my music business book.
Oh, cool.
But I'm proud of my Mississippi book. I really am.
Well, I certainly are. I'm going to look that up and get your book because I want to be inspired by anybody that can tell a story of how they have overcome. With you, all the music that you created, I mean, you had a song that was touching everybody in commercials, in movies. That's epic. Not many people have that opportunity to have their music touch people like that. So yeah, I want to read your story.
All right.
I want to read your story. Well, Mr. Wright, I am so excited that you have been here with me. I hope you enjoy yourself. I see that smile on your face, so I think you like just sharing your joys and all the things that you've experienced.
Well, you're beautiful. That's why.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I tell you what, like minds, when you love something and you share that joy back and forth with each other, that's awesome. That is so awesome, especially with the times that we're in now. Something to make you smile, make you happy. That's what I'm all about. Sharing the love. And I love music. I love to hear everybody's triumph and stories about what they went through in the music business, because it's not easy being in the music business. There's a lot of stuff going on in the music business that maybe was a heartbreak for somebody, but you have some really triumphant experiences, and that's a blessing. And that's for your grandchildren. That's absolutely for your grandchildren to know how successful you were, how successful you are now, because no matter how long it's been since you've been in the music business, your music is still out here blessing people and making people happy.
I hope it'll be out here forever.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you so very much. I'm so glad to meet you. I'm so very glad to have a talk to you. And maybe sometime soon we can talk again. If you got something else, tell me about your new book coming out. When is your book coming out?
I don't have a date, but it'll be out within the next 3 or 4 months.
Okay. Okay. Are you self-publishing your book?
Yes, call Express Yourself.
Okay. All right. Mr. Charles Wright expressing himself. Awesome. 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 Well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you. I've enjoyed you. And I look forward to maybe in the future, when you get your new book out, we talk again about your book.
Thank you. And you're a
Thank you.
wonderful host.
Thank you. I appreciate that. God
Thanks.
bless you. Be safe, be well, be happy, and keep smiling.
All right.
Thank you. Blowing kisses back right at you.
All right.
Wow, I'm so happy I had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Wright. He's an awesome person. I can see the joy in his face, the love that he has with the music. What a blessing, absolute blessing. Absolutely. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight, listening in to the interview. And I want to thank the producers and Miss Andre Butler. I love you. You're right on time with everything. I appreciate the opportunity to speak my piece and just enjoy what I'm doing. I want to say thanks to everybody. Absolutely. Thank you so very much. I say adios. Every time I do a broadcast, I like to just spread a little joy amongst people because we're living in times where so much going on. I just want to be a beacon of light. I just want to be a beacon of light to everybody when I speak to you. I just want to tell you, a smile has a lot of power. I think about sometimes walking down the street and I smile at people and I wave and I say, "Hey, how you doing?" And some people don't respond, but when I say, "Hope you have a good day," they kind of stop and they look at me and they say, "Wow, okay." You never know what a person is going through, but if you have an opportunity to make somebody smile or make somebody laugh or just have a pleasant moment, that's what I am about. I want to say happiness is infectious. So if I give a smile, if I give a wave, if I say hello, how you doing, people respond positively like that. Some people may not, but it's okay. But I always want to be the one that gives out a smile, and hopefully I'll get a smile back. And every time you smile, it adds a little to your life because joy and happiness is what empowers you. Joy and happiness is what gives you life. So scowling and being angry and mad about things, it's not worth it. It really is not. So I say, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Say hello to even people you don't even know walking on the streets. If you see somebody that maybe you don't know what they're going through. So another thing I always say, be kind. Kindness doesn't cost anything. It's just something that will help you feel good. It makes somebody else feel good. Sharing a happy experience, just a hello, how you doing? And empowering people with kindness. Kindness and a smile is worth a whole lot of money because some people don't even know how to smile or don't know how to be kind. But if you show kindness, if you give people just a word to make them feel better, it makes you feel better. So those are the things that I try to promote. And I want to say every time I get an opportunity to speak to someone, I want to say, be kind, be respectful, be loving to a person because you might do something to help them uplift their spirits because we don't know what anybody's going through on a daily basis. We really don't. But being kind and smiling doesn't cost anything. So I'm hoping that somebody, every single day, every opportunity you get, be kind, be loving, be forgiving, and empower somebody. Just keep that smile going because you never know how you could change somebody's life. Well, it's time for me to say adieu. I appreciate everybody listening in. And as I always say, be kind, be loving, be happy, be forgiving, and live in joy, living in love. Thank you. Blessings to everyone. Good night.
Ooh,